Hey guys, this is Jeff, KB5WCK with KB5WCK Radio. Have you ever wondered how to make your club grow when you can't meet face to face? Well, our club grew 35% over the last 2 years during COVID. Stay tuned and I'll tell you what we did to make our club grow. Welcome back. We're going to talk about how to grow your club today. First thing you need to know when you're going to grow your club, is how many members do you have currently? How many did you have? And how many are out there to get? When I joined our club 5 years ago, we had just a regular old database. Few people had access to it. So we didn't really, as members, we didn't really know how many people there were. So I was elected as secretary 4 years ago, and I started doing some researching, and I came up with a site that I found called Ham Club Online. Excuse me. I don't get anything from these guys, so it's just we really like the product. I'll put the link in the description below so you can go check it out for yourself. So once we imported, then we had an idea of how many people were actually on our roster, whether they were active, inactive, whatever. This went on for a couple of years, and then 2 years ago when I was elected president, I wanted to make a push to grow our club. The way to do that is to reach out. Well, who do you reach out to? You reach out to former members and non-members. Well, the first thing's fairly easy. So I went into Ham Club Online, had an export done of our membership, and I looked at people that were not active, either expiring soon, had already expired, or were inactive. Then I generated an email blast out telling them who I was and what my goal was to grow our club. Now, during this time, we came up with a slogan for our club called "Grow the Hobby, Grow Your Club." And that's essentially the truth. If you go out and you grow the hobby of amateur radio, your club will grow, because people want to be in a group that's excited and growing and doing things. So that was the first thing. But let me warn you, if you do an email blast to former members and want to know why they're not there anymore, then you need to be prepared for the answers that you're going to get. Some of them are not going to be fun. Some of them are not going to be nice. We had some that said, well, I just found a better club, a club I like better. Okay, I can understand that. They meet your needs better. We had others that were saying, I came to meetings, but nobody talked to me, so I didn't really feel part of the club. I felt like I didn't belong. We had other answers. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head, but I will just say, be ready for answers that you may or may not want to hear. So once we got this data, I went to our board and we sat down and we had a discussion about growing the club. And I invited these people to come back and join. I made them a special deal on our membership rates. And you may want to do this to try to get some former members back in. I gave them their first year for half off. So for instance, our dues were $20 a year. Told them, if you join, we'll give you your first year for $10. And some of them joined up, some just still didn't join. I had one guy that was very adamant that he wasn't coming back. I made the deal for $10 and kept on him a little bit, and finally he said, Jeff, you convinced me, I'll give it a try. Well, that's going on 3 years ago, and he's still a member, and he's involved. He's teaching classes. He's doing different kinds of things for the club. So stick with them. Don't give up on them. You may have to send 2 or 3 blasts out to get some people to start coming back. But back to the board. I went to the board and I said, hey, I've got these people that said they're going to visit the club and see about rejoining. And some of their complaints were is that nobody talked to them. They felt like they were all alone and they didn't belong. We as a board need to make sure that if we see somebody that we don't recognize, we walk up to them, we shake their hands, we give them our name, and we ask them their name and their call sign, and we try to make them feel welcome. Do this before the meeting, and then at the end of the meetings, make sure you tell people, hey, we're glad you came. We are so glad you decided to join us tonight. Please come back and visit us some more. We got a pretty good bit of people out of that. Like I said in the intro, over the past couple of years, we've grown around 35%. That's a good many members. That's probably close to, let's see, 25, 30 members, something like that, somewhere in that ballpark. So that's a good amount to grow. But it's one thing to get them there. What do you do once they're there? Well, one of the things that we did also was we set up a Discord chat server. I'll put a link to Discord in the bottom also. What was happening was in the past when people were working DX, working contest, field day, whatever, when something good would come on, they would just start texting one by one. And, of course, usually somebody got left out. Not intentional, but just did. But now we use the Discord server, and what we do is we have a spotting channel. So if you're on, you're working DX, and let's say Thailand comes in on 15 meters, you go pop a message into Discord on the spotting channel and say, hey, Thailand's open on 15. If you need them, go get them. And we have tons of people that respond and go out and get those channels. It's called helping each other, and that's what we did. You can also blast out last-minute news to your club members through Discord. You can also do that through Ham Club Online. Probably I didn't talk about that quite enough, but a couple of the things I really like about Ham Club Online is not only the email blast, but it has an integrated calendar where you can put all your meetings and set up reminders where they will, and any information about, say you have a Zoom call coming up for your meeting, you can put the Zoom connection info in there. You can put, 2 reminders, and it'll send emails out to everybody at those specific times before the meeting so that everybody has it. You can keep up with your member skills. Let's say you've got people that are in RACES or Aries or Skywarn, or they teach your classes. You can keep up with all those skills in there so that when you're looking for something, say, you want to hold a class, you need some teachers, you can go in there and find out who's qualified to teach which level. You can find out who's a member of RACES. You can find out who's a member of Aries. Whatever your area has, CERT even, Community Emergency Response Team. You can find that also. So that's just a really neat feature of Ham Club Online. If you have club assets like coolers and signs and antennas and stuff like that, you can keep up with that in there and put the location so that if somebody needs it, they can go in there and find out who has it or where it's at. Very nice software. Again, I'll put a link in it at the bottom. Speaking of field day, winter field day, stuff like that, if you want your club to grow, invite people to join you. Don't let it be the same old people every year, the 5-6 people out of your club that go do winter field day, that go do field day, that do the VHF contest. Make sure you invite all your new members. Invite members or friends that may not be members of your club, but are looking for a place to belong. Invite them. Make sure that everybody feels welcome. We had a ton of people at our last field day last year. That way, not everybody has to operate the 24 hours. You can bring people in. You can let them operate for a little while under the club call and take a break, and then you can come back, and nobody has to work 24 straight hours on field day. Same thing for winter field day. Same thing for other contests. The more people you get involved, the happier they'll be, the more they will feel like they belong. Public service stuff. Make sure you're doing public service stuff. That could be, communications at the local 5K run. It could be, a bike race. It could be the Christmas parade. It could be things like that. But public service is also if a club member, non-club member, local ham, somebody needs an antenna put up and they're too old to get it up or just incapable of doing it themselves. I can't tell you the number of times we've had people from our club go to people's houses, climb a tower, get up in the attic, whatever it took, get them an antenna up, run the cable for them, Or it could be just something as simple as, I want to get involved in, digital modes, FT8, FT4, RTTY, that kind of stuff. And I don't know how to hook up my computer to my radio. Get somebody in your club that does that stuff to go help them out. Again, if they're not a member, they'll consider being a member. That's the kind of stuff that hams are supposed to do. It's called being an Elmer. So let's all be Elmers. That'll help your club grow also. Like I mentioned earlier, we did online meetings. We also did online classes. In fact, you can find a couple of our classes for general and extra class over on the Ham Radio 2.0 Club YouTube page. He streamed them live, recorded them, and now he's hosting them on his YouTube channel for us. We also did online testing. We had people from all over the country taking online tests through our club. Now, they're not really a candidate for a membership unless you have a online membership only, which was one thing we were looking at toward the end of the year. It has not gotten done yet, but I would encourage you, if you want your club to grow, come up with an online membership. So when you have your online meetings and classes and stuff like that, or you want to make documentation available to club members, that they can get to it also. And speaking of documentation, one thing we came up with was a new ham guide. Now, I don't have it here in front of me, so I can't show it to you, but if you're interested in looking at it, let me know. I'll send you a copy. It talks about how to be a ham. If you're a new ham, this is what being a ham means. How to conduct yourself on the airwaves, where the local repeaters are for your club, what the hours are there any nets in your area that are going on, what night are your meetings, how are they available, are they available online, are they available in person, anything like that. You want to make sure that your new hams have all that information. We also put a section in there about how to join our club. We want you to join our club, so we got to tell you how to do it. You can't just snap your fingers and it's there. Again, these are just some of the things that we've done, and our club, like I said, grew about 35% over the last 2 years. So we're really excited about where it's going. My term's coming to an end next month, but I fully expect whoever takes over as president to continue to grow the club and get it even bigger and more active. And that's one other last thing. Don't make your president have to do everything. I was fortunate in our club. Asked for volunteers. I usually got them. Make sure you reach out and help your president and your board members. They're not the only ones that are allowed to do things. If you want to hold a presentation in your club meeting about Androids, or you want to have, or Arduinos, or Raspberry Pis, or RTTY, or antenna waves, how they operate, volunteer to do a presentation at your club. People, you don't know how many more people are out there wanting to understand that may not understand it. I've learned a lot through our club meetings. I can promise you. We've got some very knowledgeable people in our club, and I'm sure you do too. Take advantage of those guys and ladies. Make sure that they're involved. And just as a last shout out, my wife took her test this past weekend and she passed it. She aced that test wholeheartedly, 100%. And she got her call sign yesterday. She's so excited. She's already bought the study book for the general class. If you're a new ham watching this and you're just a tech, great. We are glad to have you. Think about upgrading. Like I said, go to Ham Radio 2.0. Our general class is there. And I've had people from all over the country email me and tell me, I watched your general class a couple of times, went and took my test, and I passed it. Thank you. That's what we're here for, to grow the hobby and grow the club. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you're seeing, hit subscribe below. There will also be some links down there if you want to contribute to making this channel continue to grow and be bigger. Click on those links also. And we'll see you next time. 73.